I can't emphasize enough how fast these PSEs are this year. It's pretty wild. Hello,
welcome back to the YouTube channel.
Dick. Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm FJJ here at PodiumArcher.com, looking at the new PSE Mach 30 DS with the FDS cam. As far as I know, that's the only real change to it, but because it is a different cam, we still need to run speed tests on it, etc., and go off of those so you can better make a decision on what bow you're going to buy and where you're going to buy it from. Speaking of where you're going to buy it from, go support your local pro shop. Do not try to buy it from me. Do not try to buy it online. Go down to the store, deal with the people that own the shop. Most of the time when you're dealing with a pro shop, you might be dealing with the owner or some facet of their end, and you're probably going to get the best service in that scenario. So please try to give them some support. If you had a bad experience, on my behalf, give them another shot. If you get another bad experience, then fine, I get it. But please go support your local pro shop. If you're going to buy it online, and only if you're going to buy it online, PodiumArcher.com for all those archery needs, $99 and up is free shipping, and coupon code MFJJ might save you a little bit of money. So far, we've tested a couple of these FDS cams, and they are freaking fast. And they don't feel like it should for being fast. PSE, once again, hand clap.
Somebody's closer.
Only carbon bow made in the United States. Way to go, PSE. Somehow, some miracle of evolution, you can actually make one of these in the US for under $2,000. Pretty incredible. Let's take some measurements off this sucker. It's a 30 axle to axle, 5 7/8 brace, 3.6 pounds physical weight. Doesn't weigh that. 24.5 to 30 on the draw length. 348 feet a second is the published speed, and $19.99 is the price tag. Let's measure some of this stuff up. Axle to axle, 30 inches. Left side of screw to left side of screw. I'd say that's right on 30 inches. Okay. Brace height, 6 or 5 7/8. Yeah, I'd call that accurate. Riser length, there I would say that's 26.5. 2 5/8 reflex. All right, let's get a physical weight on this sucker and measure its draw length. And for what it's worth, there's no way this bow weighs 3.6. But we'll find out in a second. 2/10 for the arrow rest. Okay, 4.1 it looks like. So that would be 3.9 without the arrow rest. Maybe another 1/10 for the dampener. 3.8. It's far from 3.6. So we're gonna call it 3.8. If anything, it's shorter than 30. Something tells me that's as far as that cam goes, and it didn't quite hit 30, because 30 is all the way up here. So I'd say this thing probably measures at 29 3/4, realistically. It's probably about accurate. 29 3/4 on the load off point. 69.8. All right, so, 350 grain arrow, 30 inches, 70 pounds, Mach 30 DS. Looking for 300, and I think you said 49 or something? 348, 349, something like that. 344. Within 5 and a booking. That is you're going to beep out my profanity, right? That's a fast little. 343. Yep, so it's still a 344 average because of the 343.3. 345. 343. All right, we're going to stick with 343 on that. Or was the first one 344?
Yeah.
All right, so we can call it 344. Let's shoot some 450s. That's fast, dude. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a stiff drawing bow, just like the other two that we tried, but it's not bad. Like, I've definitely pulled worse feeling bows. 307, 306. 308, 310. So we'll give that up to a 308 average. 308, 304. So we'll give it 308 because so many of them were 307, 308, 309. So let's shoot some 650s. 257, 257. The other pretty interesting thing about how fast this is it's not 30 inches. It's 29 3/4. Like it's shortening. It's because the cam won't hit that length, I'm sure, but it's really freaking cooking. $257, $258, $59. $257, $258. All right, let's set this at 29 inches and shoot it again.
What's the average?
258. All right, now we're at 29 inches, 70 pounds, 450 grain arrow. 291, 292.3, so a 292 average. 294, 295, so that'll bump us up to 294. 294, 292. So we'll give it a 293 average. Now we're going to back it down to 65 pounds so we can give you what we're calling the realistic arrow speed. Realistic arrow speed is what we're calling a fair measurement that we would like all brands to adapt and adopt. 29 inches, 65 pounds, 450 grain arrow, because that's the average person. And I would like to see a speed advertised that you might actually get when you set up your own bow. All right, we are now at the realistic arrow speed setting, 65 pounds, 450 grain arrow, 29 inches of draw. There we go. Here we go. 24. It is still cooking. That one says 284. That one says 289. So we'll bump it to 285. 285, 285. All right. 285 is our realistic arrow speed. Now let's get some noise. Eddie Juan. Reset. Oh, gotta get in focus first.
It's not that much cheaper.
It's not.
81 and a half. 81.
81. What do you know? All the PSE carbon bows have basically the same sound. Shocking. All right, we'll put her in the Torquematic 5000 and then get you some math going. See what we get? We'll do 3. 4 pounds, 11 ounces. 4 pounds, 15 ounces. 4 pounds, 15 ounces. So we'll give you a 4 pounds, 14 ounce average. It's really good. It's about the same as the other one. I can't emphasize enough how fast these PSEs are this year. It's pretty wild. But not everybody can necessarily afford a brand new flagship bow, so I took it upon myself at PodiumArcher.com to create a certified used bow section. We're going to go through, replace all of the bows we trade in with strings and cables from Gas Bowstrings, certify everything's in good working order so you have a safe place that you can buy a used bow, and we do a national trade-in program. We can ship you a box if you don't have access to a box with a return label on it, so you can ship it back into us and inspect it. We have predetermined prices on our website. They fluctuate every month, so don't just assume if it says 400, it's going to be 400 forever kind of thing. It does change. And as long as we can inspect it and don't find any damage that we have to replace, we will give you a credit at PodiumArcher.com for that dollar amount that you can spend on the website. And shops out there, we will also take in your old product and you can trade in used bows as well. And we have a reseller on our website for shops. You can get a reduced price. Make sure to fill that out. Who knows what you might get a good deal on, and you can buy all my stuff, just so you know. All right, speed-wise, this thing was 344. It was smoking. We're going to get 13 on the speed there. Weight was this said 3.6, it was 3.8. So 3.8 gives you a 4.7 on the weight. Tunability is a 3. Tunability is a 6. It's basically spacers. Yeah, they're easier to take out, but all the stuff that all the other brands are working on, or most of the other brands are working on or trying to do, are making it very user-friendly and very finitely adjustable. I would like to see something up your sleeve with that PSE. I'd love to see that a little better, so you get a 6. Integration and features. 2-piece quiver attachments. front mount pick, rear mount IMS. Doesn't have a V-bar attachment, but a lot of good features and integrations there. Nice to see. Honesty. Well, you're way off on your weight. Your brace height was accurate. Your ATA was accurate. Your speed's accurate, or close enough, I would say. It's within 5. Okay, you're off a lot on your weight, so you're getting a 11 on your honesty. Everything else was pretty close. Feel. Bow's got a square edge grip I really like. Really stable according to the Torque-O-Matic 5000. It's pretty impressive what that thing's doing. And the draw cycle is aggressive, but it's not bad. Like, I'd totally get used to that pretty easily. I'll give it an 8. Also really impressive that you're making a carbon fiber bow in the United States. Thank you, PSE, for making a carbon fiber bow here in the great US of A. Supposedly, it's a very expensive process that's not possible to do according to some other brands. So we'll give you an 8. Value, $2,000 is too much for a bow. It's technically less than that. Barely. But for what you're getting and how fast it is and what it weighs and what it's made out of and the complicated nature of trying to make a carbon fiber bow, especially in the USA, I got to give you a 4 for value. Sound. 81's right in the middle of everything, so we're going to give you a 3 there. An appeal. The appeal of the bow, there's a lot going on there. I'm very impressed. And those cams, like I said, they're not bad. It's very impressive, the speed they're getting out of that thing. I'm going to give you a 3, see what you get here. 26, 33, 42, 50, 58, 62, 68. Comment down below on how much of a moron, idiot, etc. that I am and how poor of a job I'm doing at this, because I know there's always going to be a Karen or two out there that want to do it better, and I encourage you to do so. If you think you can do a better job, make them. Show them. It's a public environment. Anyone can do it. So I'd love to see you try it and see what you come up with yourself. But for now, if you don't want to, put a comment down below on what I'm not testing that I need to, so I know what to take into account next year. But our protocol's set for this year, and we are not scoring the Torque-O-Matic 5000 on the score sheet. I really kind of think we should, and I want comments from you guys on whether or not we should be. I think we should. You tell me. Thanks a lot.